Alright, welcome to the All Hard Grit and Grind channel. I want to share something with you all that just confirms the fact that no matter how cliche this may sound, depending on how old you are, or how much it may seem like simple common sense to a lot of people, but you can't judge a book by its cover. You just can't judge a book by its cover. You don't know what's going on with people. You don't know what's in people's heads. You don't know what's in there until you get in there and see what's going on. So before you can judge the book, you gotta open the book and look in the table of contents and check out that content to see what's really going on, to see what makes the person tick, to see what their values are, what they value the most, where they draw the line at, etc., etc., etc. And you do that with a good Q&A session, a good questions and answer session, better known as an interview. Now, this may take place online, on television, or even in person, depending on the situation. And the answers that the person on the receiving end of these questions will reveal a whole lot about himself or herself, especially if he or she has already been scrutinized or seen in a negative light because of the line of work that he or she is in, the industry that he or she used to be in or is in, or the occupation that he or she used to have or does have, or the background that he or she has, or the associations that he or she has or used to have. So everybody already has their expectations as far as answers go, or what type of direction the scrutiny and the negative light being shined on the person on the receiving end of the question is now shined on the person that is administering these questions, because you asked her something that was, some may see it as a dumb question that may have people looking at the host in a funny way. Like, what's going on with you for you to ask that question? Was it really necessary to ask that question? Does that question need an answer? I mean, how does she respond to that? Now, a lot of you may be wondering, why is he bringing this up? What is he talking about? What does this have to do with anything? Well, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show y'all this clip so y'all can get a better idea of what I'm talking about. And I want to thank y'all for coming. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. All right, peace.
How much of that was acting and how much of that was really sexual arousement and involvement in a sex act as an individual involved in it?
Well, when you're actually involved in the sex act, I mean, the way I feel, I enjoyed it because, at least I was still alive that way. I feel that if you have to deaden yourself to the point where you're not going to feel anything, I mean, that's doing some damage. So, I mean, I enjoyed what I did. I mean, I really enjoyed those 12 years. It's just that I grew out of it. It's not for me anymore. And that's basically it. But it is real. I mean, it's really going on.
What kind of change took place in the industry? 12 years, that spans quite a bit of time in terms of the growth of the industry to this point. What kind of changes do you recall?
Well, when I started, there was things called one-day wonders, which were films that were done in one day. Then everybody started getting, well, higher budgets, and because the industry started to grow a little bit with the video and everything. And then from what I understand now, it's right back to where it was. Like they're doing videos in one day.
So they're just cranking them out.
Right, they're just cranking them out. The women are coming in truckloads, and it's just the whole situation, from what I hear, is getting worse. As far as just what goes on, it's a meat market now more than ever.
Okay. Well, we've invited our viewers from home to call in, and they have already, and we're going to go to them. Hi, caller. You're in touch with Vanessa Del Rio.
Hello, Vanessa. How you
Hi.
doing today?
Good.
I'd like to know, do you have like a list that I could go there and get of all your movies?
Did I ever make a list?
I mean, is there a list of all your movies?
Yes, there's a list in, I forget what book it is, but there's a couple of books out that list all the films and the stars, and they have a chapter sort of with each star's name and how many films and the titles of the films.
Oh,
You're
You can
interested-
ask your local video store owner.
okay.
should know.
Well, I seen you once in Baltimore, and I enjoyed myself tremendously.
Thank you.
We won't ask how, but thank you.
You do have an enduring public.
I
Is
love
that-
my
is that-
fans.
Is
I
that a
love
problem
my
for
fans.
you? I mean,
No,
I
it's not
think
at
anybody
all.
who's visible, has to deal with that to a certain extent, but particularly because of the nature of the way your public knows you, has that ever been a problem?
No, nobody's ever been rude. I mean, maybe one drunk guy one time, but nobody's really ever been rude. I think that I command respect when people meet me, because I know other girls that when they meet them, they'll come out with a sleazy remark or something, and that's because that's what they exude. But I enjoy my audience. I really like my fans.
What about the other side of the coin, the more puritanical types?
Never.
have you had to
Nobody's
deal with
ever
that?
come up to me, with a cross like this.
Was there ever a limit that you set for yourself when you were doing the movies? You said, now look, I'll do this, this, and this, but I will not do that.
Animals and children.
Well, but
But why? But why is that?
because it's not right. I mean, I have done S&M movies, so
Tell us a little more
where
about that.
where they tie you up, and I guess people would call it abuse on women or something, But at the time, it was a good time.
the issue of children in pornography, of course, is probably one of the major factors in the
I think
crackdown
it's totally
of the past few
disgusting,
years.
yeah.
But it has existed. There are major stars who it's come out in recent years were actually underage, but they didn't find this out until years later. Was that common? Is it common?
I've never seen it. It's always something that's done real underground, like under a rock somewhere.
But it always makes its way to the stores, right? Okay, let's take another call from home. Hi, caller. You're on City Line.
Yes, good morning. Mr. O'Reilly seems to be very